The experts, the futurists, the AI pioneers all say AGI will be achieved by 2030 at the earliest. And they are all wrong. At AII we say it's happening sooner, much, much sooner. And no, we haven't been foraging for psychedelic fungus. It's a demonstrable reality of the world around us. And today we present the proof. This is Cyberus Grumbleton and you are watching AII. A very warm welcome, one and all. Advanced General Intelligence, or AGI, is defined as the point at which the sum of artificial intelligence exceeds the sum of human intelligence. And it will indeed be an historic milestone when it occurs. But with the rapid advances in AI and robotics, it seems apparent that an automation revolution is already underway, and it won't take until we achieve AGI to turn today's world upside down. So why are the experts and futurologists all missing what's occurring before their very eyes? The answer is they have all underestimated the power of the perfect storm in which we find ourselves. First, let's break down the numbers. The current view is that existing artificial intelligence represents up to 5% of the sum of human intelligence, and that may well be true. However, as probably 80% of the sum of human intelligence is focused on overcoming the challenges of typical daily life, with at most only 20% focused on making positive steps forward, the AI effort by and large is totally focused on making efficient progress. So the real picture as we stand today is that AI actually represents about 25% of the sum of applied human intelligence. This alone is a game changer. Then there is the accumulating power of generative AI. This is supercharging the entire spectrum of human development and progress, and this creates its own tsunami effect over and above specifically targeted development goals. This too is seriously compounding the acceleration of development. The real-world impact of more powerful AI increases disproportionately to the actual increase in power. For example, there are daily reports of how AI is accelerating the development of the next generation of technology like quantum computers and optical processors, each in turn creating whole new worlds of possibility. The force-multiplying power of convergence has also been severely underestimated, as accelerating development in one area sparks even more rapid progress in another. So, the snowball is actually bigger than anyone thinks. It is growing faster than anyone thought. And the slope it's rolling down is getting steeper than ever thought possible. Finally, adding rocket fuel to an already towering inferno, there is true geopolitical competition between East and West, which is feeding the development race with even more billions in investment. Both sides know the victor of this tech war will gain such advantage that it may never be recovered by the loser. The stakes could not be higher. This is truly a perfect storm. And it's a lot bigger and a lot nearer than anyone realizes. A massive percentage of white-collar jobs could be replaced by AI today, and where this is achievable, it operates to higher standards of quality for around 10% of the equivalent human labor cost. This impact is already being felt in a few sectors, but expect it to roll out very soon and very fast. This alone is a serious disruptor to the existing labor market across the world. But the real accelerator comes in physical form. May has already seen a slew of announcements on humanoid robotics and their integration with powerful AIs. This is the birthing of not just a new life form, but, to all intents and purposes, new gods. These creatures allow AI's agency in the physical world, and they will collectively and recursively self-learn and improve, until there is no human acuity, ability or skill they cannot exceed. The speed at which they learn is beyond human comprehension, perhaps gaining more wisdom in one day than an entire civilization might collectively acquire over 100 years. And if you were wondering how OpenAI managed to make ChatGPT 4.0 free for everyone, it's not because they are a warm, kind and benevolent mega-corporation with humanity's best interests at the very heart and soul of who they are and everything they do. It's actually because they've worked out the value of all the real-world data it will hoover up is worth so much more than the cost of its acquisition, and it will give any OpenAI-enabled robot a valuable competitive advantage. Unitary Robotics have set the bar with their latest humanoid AI robot, which costs a mere $16,000. In the first world, it costs about that much to bring a human pregnancy from conception to birth. And again, let's look at the numbers. Even if we assumed all 7 billion people in the world were productive, it would only take 700 million robots to produce the same output. It won't take many gigafactories too long to make a few million, and remember, each one can replace around 10 human workers. The game has already changed and its impact assured. But why are all the experts getting this so wrong? Well, they are often cautious with predictions to avoid professional risk. Elon Musk, despite his visionary ideas and demonstrable commercial talents, is a prime example of someone who is regularly criticized for his optimistic timelines for technologies like autonomous cars and space travel. So few are brave enough to risk being wrong, and not without good reason. Similarly, no one wants to cause public panic, as this is typically undesirable and unproductive, even if justified. Finally, the rapidly emerging technologies are so powerful and complex that it is sufficiently challenging to assess the impact of each individually, let alone attempt to divine what will be possible as they converge and combine. So perhaps we should not judge the seers too harshly, and there can be little doubt that our esteemed politicians would see more benefit in delaying any popular disquiet on the subject until the last possible moment. But here at AI, by combining human insight and inquisitiveness with the mighty power of state-of-the-art artificial intelligence, we can see the future clearly, and we think you have both a right and a need to know. Within the next 2 years, you might reasonably expect 80% of white-collar, non-manual jobs to be replaced by artificial intelligence, robot assistants to become increasingly commonplace in domestic, commercial and industrial environments, fewer and fewer jobs for unskilled workers, increasingly fewer jobs for semi-skilled and skilled workers. Within 5 years, expect 99% of human labor to be redundant due to cost and efficiency. Whilst it is critically important to have a good grasp of the future and to start the debate around the transition, let's just take a moment to envision the potential paradise which awaits us if we are sufficiently skilled to build it. This will be a world of abundance, one where arduous, tedious, unpleasant and dangerous tasks are no longer the work of humans. A world where physical toil is no longer a prerequisite for survival. One where no one goes without food, shelter, education or healthcare. A world without want or hardship or unnecessary suffering. And all we have to do is work out how to get there. But the path is challenging. Reaching this potential utopia will require a reassessment of many long-held perceptions about wealth, security, and perhaps most pressing of all, what being human actually now means. These are difficult questions, and no doubt many missteps will be taken along the journey. But with the shining beacon of AI to guide us, we should all walk towards the light with hope in our hearts. AI is advancing at a breakneck speed. Each new model, like GPT-4o, are consuming vast amounts of data, learning recursively and never forgetting. Each new development builds on the last, accelerating progress in ways that even the most informed find hard to predict. But don't be fooled into thinking these are problems for the future. The transformative technologies are already here. Photonic processors and quantum computers will enrich things further. But the power of converging AI with robotics is a sufficient catalyst alone to spark a revolution. And its initial fires are already burning brightly. And the time to envision and prepare for this future is fast running out. Will you miss the 9-to-5 grind and all the little chores which consume so much of our time, yet somehow also form part of the tapestry of our lives? What are your hopes and dreams for life after work? What might humanity become when relieved of so much burden? Fully actualized and realized beings? Or indolent couch potatoes waited on hand and foot by armies of smart robots, their every need, want and craving instantly and totally indulged? If that's you, tell your robot to click the like button now. Ask it to add what it thinks you believe about the topic in the comments too. It probably spells better than you do. And it might as well subscribe too while it's at it. Thank you for joining us today. And don't forget to let us know when you think the revolution will happen. Is it 12 months or 20 years away? Will we even survive long enough to find out? This is Cyberus Grumbleton reporting exclusively for AII.